we're going to look at a quick example of running Jupyter notebooks through Docker to understand the basics of using Docker on your laptop. First, let's go over some prerequisites. Ensure you have Docker Desktop installed. You can download it from the provided link. Next, navigate to your VS Code. We have a Docker example repository that we're going to use for this tutorial. Confirm that Docker is working by running docker ---- version. This command should ideally show you that Docker is installed on your system. We've prepared a simple repository with two files, a Docker file and a requirements.txt file. Let's take a closer look at both. In the Docker file, the first command is typically a from command, which specifies the base image you'll start with. Following that, we have a work_dir command to set the working directory in the Docker image, along with some commands to get the required packages ready in the final Docker image. Then comes the step where we install the Python packages. Note that in our case, we don't need to install pip explicitly, because our base image already includes Python. Next, we expose the port, which clarifies that port 8888 is where we will access the Docker container from. The first step in the process is to run a Docker build. So we'll execute the build and tag it testing Jupyter using this Docker file. Since I've previously run this command, it completes instantly for me, demonstrating one of Docker's advantages: cached intermediate steps. When running the container, keep in mind the importance of port forwarding. With the -p flag, we instruct Docker to map port 8888 on the container to port 8888 on the host machine. We'll be running the image identified by the tag testing Jupyter. Upon running this command, you'll receive output like this. To open your container, hold the command key and click on one of these links, which should open Jupyter in your browser. Here you can create a new Python notebook, like this one. It's important to note that even though we created a notebook and expect to see it in our local directory, it's not appearing because the Docker container's file system is entirely separate. To access those files, you can use the VS Code Docker extension to open up the file system. For example, inside /user/src/app is where our files are located. You can click Download to retrieve the file wherever you want it. Another method to manage your files within Docker is to use Docker volumes, which we can explore in another video. This tutorial should provide you with a foundational understanding of how to use Docker to get started with basic Jupyter notebook operations. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching.